Yesterday, we talked about working with different formats and paying attention to what feels right for you, morning, evening, audio, written, things like that. And below here, I've pulled together all the resources, the different um, examine possibilities that we've looked at so far, links to the audios that we are considering, and some of the books that we've been talking about, things like that. It's all down here. So keep working and finding what works for you. That's what we've been talking about so far, right? When you're fresh, when you're feeling good about it, when you're inspired. But what about when you are just tired, when you're sick, when you're not feeling good, and when maybe too much life is happening and you just don't have 20 minutes at the end of your day? So I will let you in on kind of what I do when this happens. Sometimes when I'm tired, I'll just take a minute to note the high and the low from that day. The moment when I felt most alive, this was the high point of my day. This was where my joy was. And then the low point, the area of frustration, if it was a day of a lot of difficulties, just what that overall theme was, what was the dynamic in my day that made it hard, and pay attention to that. I got the idea from the Sleeping with Bread book that we talked about yesterday. They talk a lot about highs and lows, and in fact, they even share how they do it as a family. And we sometimes share highs and lows at dinner as a family too. We have twin 9-year-old girls, and they love getting the chance to share about their day and having an equal voice as me and my husband. So we'll do, what was your high for today? What was your low for the day? And let that be kind of our family examine time. I also do want to have my own reflective, quiet examine time, because the quick hit of high and low is not ideal. It doesn't have that same sense of calm and peace. It doesn't really let my mind process the day and reflect on what's happened. And I need a little bit of time to do that. I like the guided examine, and I've actually been also experimenting with the written examines this week to see if that sort of allows even more time for my mind to process and think. And that's the best way I want to do it. But when I know I don't have the time or the energy, I'll just do highs and lows, and I'll make a note in my journal and keep that on hand. So find what works for you and work it. And if you found other styles or other like examine cards that you can print out or anything like that, send it to me. Leave it in the comments, like a link in the comments, and say, hey guys, this is what I'm doing and I like it. So keep sharing what's working for you and give yourself that time to process. We'll be talking a little bit more about that tomorrow. So you'll be hearing from me tomorrow. And I hope you guys have a great Friday and a great weekend. Thanks for doing this with me.